Saturday, it is the return of the annual First Capital Ruck 22 Fall Festival. Music, food, everything is all going to be there. Look at these two guys next to me. We got Nick Booher along with Loren McGuire. We're going to talk about what is happening this weekend and maybe even touch on some of the stuff we talked about when they were here back in June. All just ahead. But first, this from our friends at McDonald's.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
Remember, every Wednesday, McDonald's has open interviews with the manager. So if you're looking for a job, check out McDonald's in Chillicothe, Circleville, Greenfield, and Waverly. Again, joining us today, gentlemen from the First Capital Ruck 22, a big event coming up Saturday. You did this last year, and it really caught on, didn't it?
Yes, it did, Dan.
Yeah, and we saw that it made a difference in some people's lives.
Yeah, so that event, as well as the Veterans Retreat weekend we did at the VA itself, certainly has changed some people's lives, including mine.
This is all about the mental health, really, in some respects, for a lot of the veterans that are participating. Explain for the folks who don't know about Ruck 22, the purpose of the organization.
So First Capital Ruck 22 is a veterans suicide awareness and prevention group. We are a 501c3 charity, and we raise funds to try to help veterans deal with, some of the PTSD things they're dealing with, and again, try to stop that 22. So Ruck 22, the 22 in that symbolizes that 22 veterans a day commit suicide.
Yeah, and as we mentioned last time we talked, the Ruck is kind of like your rucksack, everything that you carry with you on a march. And Nick, you were telling us here back in the spring that there's a 22K that will be run this week.
Yes, we do. It's we did actual Ruck is 22 miles, and we didn't think we'd have anybody want to run 22 miles, so we knocked it down to 22K, which is 13 and a half miles. And last year we had 20. This year we have 41 signed up to run.
Is that
so
right?
We are growing. We're getting kind of big here. We don't know what we're going to do with everybody. We got down to parking here, so it's all going to be an experience for us too at the same time. Yeah. But we are very thankful and blessed that we brought the awareness to Ross County, and as our motto is, one's too many. If we can save one, we're doing our job.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to it.
I was looking at some numbers from the 2023 VA report about veteran suicide, and it's amazing the numbers that are involved in this. It seems like as it's increasing in the veteran population, the non-veteran population, it's decreasing in some respects, and it's higher for women than it is for men. It's just staggering.
Right, so I think that's proportional. So I think that 1%, if I'm not mistaken, 1% of the armed services are female. So that number plays into that as well. Of course, there are going to be more men that do commit suicide because there are more male veterans than there are women veterans. But yeah, this isn't just about guys. This is about servicemen and women who have served, and trying to help with any of the issues that may be going on, and trying to prevent that.
Mm-hmm. And I know in our previous visits we've talked about how some have wanted to stay to themselves, but because of these events that you're having, they're starting to get out there, and it is changing them mentally and helping them along the way.
Yeah, so when we did our first Veterans Retreat, I think we spoke about this before. We had a gentleman that had not been in public for about 10 years. The only people he really talked to were his immediate family and some people online. After the Veterans Retreat weekend, when we held our last Ruck 22 event in the park, he came with his family. So it certainly, from that aspect of it, helped him cross some hurdles that maybe he couldn't have helped or couldn't have crossed in the past. Yeah. One of the things that, and I think, and I know we spoke about this before, is when you get a group of veterans together talking, the dynamic changes. Sometimes the guard goes down a little bit. There's an air of safety, I guess, when you're talking with others who've served. So that's our goal, is to just start talking about things. As guys, we don't talk about anything. So it's kind of closed off, and the things that we do try to open that up and let people know that they're not alone.
Yeah, it's come from all different walks of life too. These the 10 veterans we had out there were from different units, completely different arms and so forth, and never knew each other at all. And by the time that weekend was over, they was all patting each other and hey husband, they're like best friends, and they had a lot to relate. I mean, it was from different scenarios, different walks of life, and they could relate to one thing. We need to get help. Yeah, and that's what they were there for and did.
And even your veteran status, if you were serving during non-conflict times, you may not have had some of the issues that those who saw things in combat, they're trying to deal with that stuff when they come out of their service. So the one of the most difficult things for people to understand is I don't have anybody to talk to, because they didn't go through it like I did.
Right.
And so getting your groups of veterans together like what you have has got to be so huge therapeutically for them.
Yeah, not just specific people, but for me as well. Yeah. Being able to sit down with a group of other veterans and talk about things maybe that you've never talked about before. So it's very impactful when we do get together and we're able to just open up and be real.
Yeah, and I know it's interesting to see those veterans who work at the VA interact with someone that is a patient, but they find themselves talking to somebody that understands what we went through when we were in, right, as opposed to, someone who's working there just as an occupation.
Right.
So let's talk more about the event itself. The coolest thing is the city has given you the park, the run of the park.
Yep.
And who can you trust like veterans, right?
Right.
to run the park. So you'll have live music going on, food trucks, and all kinds of things.
Yeah, so our 5K and 22K kicks off at 8 o'clock in the morning, and you can still register up until the event itself. We're asking for a $22 donation. 18 and under, we're asking for $5. So we want to get our youth involved in this as well.
Right.
Then at 10 o'clock is when the first band goes on. At 10:30, we're excited that the Columbus Zoo is actually coming down, and they're going to bring their animal ambassadors. We'll see what they bring when they get there. They're not going to bring a tiger or anything, so you don't have to worry about that, Dan. But they're going to come down. It's going to be a great day. We have music all day long, but the most important part of it is going to be our noon ceremony. We're going to do a presentation of the colors from the Greenfield ROTC. We'll do the national anthem. We'll read our 22 steps of reflection, which are just information and facts about veteran suicide. After that, I'm going to give a little bio on Ruck 22, how it came about, and where we are and where we're going. And then we may get another spokesperson to talk about his struggle with almost committing suicide as a veteran as well.
And we have 19 food trucks, 80 plus vendors.
92, I think.
92 vendors, wow. 5 bands. There are 4 of them local. So we have one from down to Kentucky coming in, I believe.
Oh, really?
And we have more wanting to get involved next year. We had turned some down, which was last year we struggled to get them. Now we're turning them down. So it's gotten very, very popular for us, and we're loving it, every bit of it.
I have noticed since, 2001, anything involving the veterans, people want to be on board with.
Right. Yeah, we've seen a lot of outpouring and support from our community, and it really makes us feel good.
It does.
Yes. I will tell you, and we were military parents, we know what that side's like, and not everybody hears that story. And it's tough. I mean, it's one thing, I know that you served, but how many people were back home praying for you?
Right.
You know, and including mom and dad. And everybody goes through it in some fashion. And then when they come back from service, they don't know how to handle some situations, you know, on both sides of that conversation.
Right.
A lot of restless nights. I know that.
Yeah.
A lot of nights I didn't sleep.
Absolutely. I've got a granddaughter going in, so there's more to pray about, more to think of. And
Absolutely.
Two of my Sunday school students recently went into, well, they're currently down at Paris Island right now. And they're brothers. Yes. So they're anxious to get home for their 10-day break. and we're anxious to see them as well.
I've been on Paris Island many times. All over that place down there. You walk on there as a kid and you come off as an adult, and some people don't come off and they just go home. I mean, they make a man out of you or a woman out of you. I heard Reveille every many mornings down there. Many mornings.
Yeah. They do a lot to prepare us for
Absolutely.
things that normal folks like us never see and just benefit from
Absolutely.
their service.
It changes your life.
All-day event. What time does everything start? I know you got the running at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, so it runs from 10 a.m. till 9 p.m.
Okay. All right, so into the dark.
Yeah, we'll be tearing down in the dark again. So it's all right. We're happy to do it. And this event is totally free. So there's no admission.
Yeah.
We added a Touch a Truck event this year as well. And we know a gentleman who will come as Captain America. So
Really?
It's going to be pretty neat. Yeah.
Ain't that cool?
It keeps popping up. Stuff keeps popping up.
Where will the Touch a Truck take place?
So that's going to be in the YMCA parking lot.
Okay.
The YMCA was gracious enough to allow us to use part of their parking lot for our Touch a Truck event.
And they've held their own Touch a Truck events before, so
Yes. Right,
yes.
I'm sure they know the layout,
Yes.
so to
I'm
speak.
still working on trying to get a tractor down there too. Get for the farmer part of it.
You going to drive it in?
No. I could, but
You
no.
mentioned 5 bands. I assume you're going to be using the bandstand. And,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Are there other structures that will be featured?
Yeah, so we're going to utilize the small lion shelter and also, the big lion shelter. That's where the Columbus Zoo is going to be. I think we have belly dancing there as well, so I think that's going to be there.
Yeah.
The magicians, face painting, all that stuff's either going to be under one of the shelters or very, very close to it. We do have the Ross County Sheriff's Department coming down and doing photo ID for children.
Fingerprint ID. Yep.
Fingerprint ID, yep, right at the small lion shelter too, so.
You guys have thought just about everything, haven't you? Or is it all fallen in your lap?
My wife would say differently, so no,
Is that right?
nothing's fallen into her lap, and it's been a lot of work, and she's done a fantastic job putting this together.
Outstanding.
You got to have somebody to organize it, right?
Well,
Yes, sir.
We broke down into different groups, and it's worked fantastic for us.
Yeah.
Kind of took a lot of pressure off of some of us, put pressures on more other people there. But yeah, it's we're getting more organized, put it that way.
Right.
We're learning. We're still learning.
At what point in time does this become a 3-day festival?
I don't know, Dan.
I just thought I'd
If
throw
we're
it
going
out
to do
there.
that, we're going to have to move it somewhere else. It won't be in City Park. Maybe out to the fairgrounds or something. But we hate to give up to City Park because that's our kind of home base. We like it down there. Our run, walk, and everything's right there, and we keep it local too. I mean, that's the thing about trying to bring the city into it with us, and the county from around. So, and it's a beautiful park on top of that. So.
Dan, we can put you on the board, and you can head up that 3-day event if you'd like.
Absolutely.
Let me backtrack after a while.
I might be able to fill all those bands in I have to keep saying, no, we can't, we don't have room right now. It'd be very nice.
Yeah, I kind of feel a little bit like those guys that were in one line and they say, volunteers, step forward. And
Everybody steps back but you.
Yeah.
yeah,
Do a Woodstock again, huh?
exactly. Yes. There's so much going on this Saturday, and it's family friendly. And I tell you, if you are a veteran, you need to be there. Just to get down, be involved, tell stories. And I know so many guys who have their reunions, so they get together and talk
Right.
with their buddies and everything. Unfortunately, not everybody does that enough. And that's where the mental issues really start to sink in. But I think you've created a positive atmosphere for a lot of this.
Yeah, I agree.
We did the Conservation League this year and the little fishing trip they had.
Yeah, Ruck 22 sponsored the fishing trips for veterans out at the Conservation League as well. So and we had a part of that.
What, 5 weekends they had this year?
5 or 6 weekends. They
And they pick veterans up and bring them out and feed them and let them fish, and it went over really, really well.
Yeah.
Very well. We had pictures of it, and they all seemed to really enjoy it. And they caught fish, so it's good.
Nothing more relaxing than going to a lake and just hanging out and fishing.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, and talking with friends.
Exactly.
Right.
And making new friends.
Making new friends.
Certainly.
Yes, sir.
Anything that we have missed before we wrap up?
Just come join us. Enjoy the fun. Have a great weekend.
Very
Oh,
good.
we will be doing raffles. We'll have a 50-50 drawing as well. We will be raffling off a Blackstone grill, a fishing trip to Lake Erie for 4, and I believe there's going to be over 100 items that you can get involved in the raffle with.
So the event's free,
Right.
but if you want to get in, put some money in.
Right.
Correct.
To be able to
We can
buy
raise money. We're trying to raise money.
Exactly. It's
And then to do the things we do, like for the Conservation League, to have the veterans go fish and so forth. So and we do other things too. We have a pheasant hunt coming up too. We're going to have raffle in there too. So
very nice. A lot of things they're doing to help veterans and help them live some normal lives and to build great relationships. I appreciate you guys coming in to share.
thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us again.
First Capital Ruck 22. If you want to find out more about them, visit them on Facebook. Just if you put in Ruck 22, I think it just pops right up there. So
It may, but I think if you put First Capital in front of that, it certainly will.
it helps.
Yes, it certainly helps.
Yep.
But I think we've got it linked in the post here as well. So for those of you listening on Litter Media Radio, make sure you check out our Facebook post for this interview as well on YouTube as well as Litter Media. For our good friends Nick Booher and also Loren McGuire, I'm Dan Ramey. Thanks for watching this edition of Litter Media Live.